And now that the days stretch long and quiet, and the space between us feels like an ocean I'm desperate to cross, I wonder if you realize how every breath I take is tethered to the hope that one day you'll see the truth behind my choice. Not the choice itself, no. I know that is heavy, maybe unbearable, but the reason why. Why I couldn't wait for you to decide when every fiber of my being screamed that waiting meant watching you unravel. You were so fragile, yet so brave, carrying more than your share of pain and silence. I watched you hold yourself together with invisible threads, and I knew those threads were about to snap. So I pulled the thread loose myself, even if it meant unraveling us for a moment, because I'd rather be the storm than the slow decay. It's a cruel kind of love, I admit. Not the kind sung in poems or whispered in soft promises. It's fierce and raw and sometimes ruthless because I love you enough to do what no one else could or would. I took your burden without asking, because your hands were trembling too much to carry it anymore. And I took your battles too, because fighting them alone would have destroyed you. So I fought them for you. And still fight them. I want you to know that every wall I built, every door I slammed shut, was an act of protection, not imprisonment. I don't want to cage you. I want to keep you safe until you find the strength to fly again on your own. I know you might hate me now. I see it in the way you look away, the cold distance that sometimes creeps between us. And it breaks me in ways you can't imagine. But I am willing to wear that hate if it means you won't break. If it means you get a chance to heal without the world pulling you apart. Because your heart is too precious to lose. Too sacred to leave unguarded. And even if you never say it aloud, I will hold on to this decision. This choice I made for you is the greatest act of love I've ever known. I will wait for the day when you no longer feel trapped by the past or overwhelmed by the future. When your heart can open to me again, not out of obligation, but because it knows it is safe. Until that day, I will stand strong for both of us. I will be the silence that comforts you, the strength that steadies you, the love that never gives up. Because I decided it for you, my baby. And that decision is mine to carry forever. Because every moment I stood by watching you wrestle with your demons, feeling powerless, I realized that love isn't always gentle. Sometimes love is the hardest choice you make, the one that breaks your own heart just to keep hers from shattering completely. I couldn't stand the thought of you bending under the weight of a world that never stopped demanding more than you had to give. You gave everything, your time, your kindness, your soul, until there was nothing left, nothing but a hollow shell pretending to smile. And I couldn't let that happen. Not to you. Not to the person who is everything I've ever wanted, everything I've ever needed. I decided it for you because I saw the way you hid your pain behind those eyes, how you refused to let anyone see the cracks you thought were shameful. You were so brave, so painfully brave, carrying that burden alone. But I am not someone you have to carry. I am the arms that want to hold you when you are too tired to stand. The voice that wants to whisper to you that it's okay to rest, that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it's okay to choose yourself for once. I didn't wait for you to ask for help because I knew you wouldn't. You never did. You always put yourself last. So I chose for you. Because I love you in a way that doesn't wait for permission. A love that breaks the rules and rewrites the story if it means you can be safe. I know it's hard. I know you feel like I stole your freedom, like I made decisions without you, like I pushed you away even when I was trying to pull you close. And I carry that pain with me every day. I know I risked losing you by taking control. But I was willing to risk everything because watching you suffer in silence was a pain I couldn't bear. You deserve to live without fear, without doubt, without the endless questioning if you are enough. And if I had to become the villain in your story just to be the hero in yours, then so be it. I would wear that scar forever. I would carry that burden gladly. Because loving you is the only thing that makes sense in this chaotic world. I took away your choice so you could find your voice again. I closed doors so you could open new ones without hesitation. I broke the chains you didn't even realize were binding you because I wanted you to fly free, wild and unafraid and unapologetically yourself. You are not meant to be small, to hide in shadows, to shrink for the comfort of others. You are meant to blaze. To roar. To be the storm and the calm all at once. And if loving you means breaking you down to build you back up stronger than ever, I will do it 1,000 times over. This love isn't about control, it's about devotion. About fighting for the one you can't live without, even when it hurts. About standing in the fire and not flinching because the pain of losing her is worse than any wound you might carry. I am here. Still here. Even when you turn away. Even when you doubt me. Even when you forget that I chose you not because I had to, but because I couldn't live without you. You are my heart's home. My forever decision. And one day, when your heart is ready, I hope you'll see this love not as a cage, but as a sanctuary. Not as a choice taken away, but a chance given. A chance to be loved fiercely, deeply, endlessly. Until then, I will hold you in my soul, protect you with every breath, and decide for you as many times as it takes because you are worth every sacrifice, every risk, every painful decision. My baby, I decided it for you. And I will decide it again, every day, for the rest of my life. Because there was a moment, one single moment that I saw the truth clearly, like a blade cutting through all the fog and noise. You stood there, quiet and trembling, trying so hard to be strong for everyone else that you forgot to be kind to yourself. Your shoulders, heavy with invisible burdens, bent just a little more under the weight of expectation and silence. And I realized then that waiting for you to save yourself was a luxury I could no longer afford. You were drowning in a sea of people who didn't see you, and I was watching from the shore, powerless to help. That day, I made my choice. I would be the tide that lifted you, the anchor that held you steady. I would decide for you because love demands action when words fall short. I didn't want to rob you of your freedom. I wanted to give you back your voice. The voice you lost in the shadows of kindness and compromise. You gave pieces of yourself away like currency, hoping it would buy you peace, acceptance, love. But peace isn't found in sacrifice, it's found in courage. The courage to say no. The courage to be selfish for once. And if you couldn't find that courage alone, then I would be it. I would be the fire that burns away your doubts, the shield that deflects the world's cruelties. I would be your choice when you felt powerless to choose. I know the decision hurt you. I know it felt like betrayal. I see it in your eyes, those moments of doubt and hurt where you ask, why didn't you wait? Why didn't you ask me? And I don't have easy answers. Only this. I loved you too much to watch you fall apart, too much to stand by while you broke yourself trying to hold everything together. I chose love, the kind of love that's messy and painful and fierce. The kind of love that doesn't ask for permission because it's too scared of losing what it holds most dear. You may never fully understand why I did what I did. Maybe that's something I have to live with. But I promise this, every choice I made was with you in my heart. Every decision was a prayer whispered in the dark, begging for your safety and happiness. I would break every rule, cross every line, endure every wound if it meant keeping you whole. Because you are not just someone I love, you are my life's purpose, my reason for breathing, the pulse that keeps me alive. And even now, when distance and silence stretch between us, I am here. Waiting, hoping, believing that someday, you will see the love behind the choices. That you will understand that I didn't decide it for me, decided it for you. For your soul. For your peace. For the woman I know you are, beneath the pain and the fear. My baby, I decided it for you. And I will choose you every day. In every breath, in every heartbeat. For as long as I live. I remember the night it became impossible to wait any longer. You sat across from me, quiet, your hands trembling just slightly on the table, and I saw the way your soul was breaking silently, piece by piece. You smiled, but it was a fragile thing, like a candle flickering in a storm. I wanted to reach across and take your pain away, to whisper that you didn't have to be strong all the time. But you wouldn't let me. You always carried your burdens alone. And I realized then if I waited any longer, I'd lose you. Not just lose you to the world's cruelties, but lose the part of you that made me whole. So I decided. I decided it for you, even if it meant stepping into the storm alone. That decision wasn't easy. It never is when love demands you to choose between your own comfort and the safety of the one you cherish. I gave up the hope of an easy love, the kind where everything is simple, and choices are mutual and clear. Instead, I embraced the chaos of loving you fiercely, fiercely enough to take the reins when you could no longer hold them. I became the guardian of your fragile heart, the keeper of your dreams, the fighter who wouldn't let the world take you apart. I acted not because I thought I was right, but because I knew doing nothing was worse. You might think that in making this decision, I silenced you. But in truth, I wanted to give you the freedom to breathe again, to live without the weight of endless decisions, doubts, and fears.